Welcome, Taurus. This is your weekly focus for March the 18th through to the 24th, 2024. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. Let's turn to the cards and find out what's in store for us. Now, as the sun moves into Aries, this becomes your month of closure, completion, right? Before your birthday comes and you have all those new plans, those new goals, those new desires come into play. So, yeah, we are, the first card is, I kind of call this dead man's land. Like, you're not really in the past, you're kind of in the present, but you're looking more towards the future, and you're kind of blending all three paths together. It's kind of, you're at a midway point before you go forward. So, you could even be at a fork in the road during this period of time. But since we know that you are in a period of putting a lot of closure and completion on those goals that you set a year ago, maybe some of them you only set weeks ago, that you're moving them into a point where they will be new beginnings, elevated paths going forward. So this card is really one that states that, first of all, we are thankful that we are in the here and now, and we are thankful for what is around us and what surrounds us, what raises us up, what works towards us, what supports us, where we find the love in the present. But we also ask, before we jump onto our stallion, for guidance, for clarity, for understanding, for the knowledge of our tomorrow to come to us easily, for a straight path. We have the Nine of Wands. So right now you may be thinking of certain ways of going forward, absolutely. And I think if you haven't come upon it yet, you shortly will, for a path to be shown to you that, well, likely a lot of it is unknown to you. It's a challenge to step into it. There'll be a lot of learning experiences, but you know that the potential for success, for prosperity, for abundance, for love is also on that path. Now, the ones behind you represent the paths that you've walked to this point in time. And they all started stubby and gnarly, no growth on it, just like the one you hold in your hand now. And you grew them into the strength that they are today, with it flourishing with growth on each one. So you're kind of deciding, you're kind of making a decision. Do I want to go in this direction? Do I want to take that on in my life? So it's really about weighing out the pros and cons, thinking it through. It is going to take courage. It is going to take a passion. It is a brand new beginning for you. The moon. Well, the moon is your inner child. The moon is your inner balance. It's about understanding. When we were a child, we never had to think, well, what brings me joy? And then say, oh yeah, well, it's this, that, and the other thing, and then go and do one. We just automatically leapt into one joy to another joy to another joy. And somehow we forgot how to just jump into our joy. So this is where we need to come back and get to know ourselves a little bit better. What brings us joy? What brings us happiness? What brings us love? What brings us satisfaction? What brings us a feeling of prosperity, a feeling of abundance? Safety. There's so many levels we can get to know ourselves on. And so this is a time to go within a little bit and understand yourself a little bit better. To bring in a little bit more clarity and understanding of maybe the why you were doing things the way you are doing things, and should it change? Should we expand it in some way? Should we diversify it in some way? We have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is here to tell us that those flowers are for us. Once again, this has to do with your inner child. Somebody told you once upon a time that you couldn't, you shouldn't, you mustn't, you can't, and you believed them. You carved it in stone, and you've been living your life accordingly. Even when you don't want to, you seem to fall into that place, that rut, that way of being. your angel appears, or your guide appears, or a past ancestor appears. Source whispers into your ear, an angel whispers into your ear and says, those flowers were meant for you all along. Embrace them. They're yours. So where we have a fear of public speaking, perhaps, or we like to, fade into the background more than step up front, because we were probably told to get to the back. Nobody wanted to see you up front. Get in the back where nobody can see you. Stand aside. Children should be seen and not heard. Go to your room. Oh, it's you again. Things like that make us fade into whatever it might be. Okay? Maybe they told you weren't a good artist, or you shouldn't pursue that kind of career because there's no value, there's no prosperity in that career. Well, maybe not for them, but certainly it could be for you. When we look at work and career, well, we have the Three of Swords here. We are looking at what we need to heal from when it comes to work, when it comes to career, where we just need to move away from the experience, so to speak. So if there's some kind of bitterness or resentment, leaving a past job, or what happened at the workplace, perhaps, it left a bad taste in your mouth. And it's a time to let it go. It's a time to heal from that. So it doesn't follow you. That energy does not follow you into the next experience. This could be a time to, self-talk. Are you kicking yourself? Are you, what's your self-talk like right now? Is there a way that you can change your talk into one that raises you up, that strengthens you, that grows you stronger in some way? King of Cups. So it's about looking at the basics. It's about looking at the foundation. You can build so long as there's a strong foundation. So if you are looking for maybe a new money stream, maybe you are trying something new and different, opening your own business perhaps in some way, it's about looking at the structure, the foundation that you're going to build on. And where do you need to bring in more strength? And this is looking at different opportunities. I mean, are they treating you well? Do they respect you? Do they pay you your worth? Do they, is it a good team? Is it, and looking at the atmosphere, looking at the perks and benefits, looking at if you deserve more or not settling for less. And temperance, having more but having less. So there is a lot of sense of closure here, isn't there? It's looking at things in a new light. It's about allowing some experiences to go past. When it comes to work and career, it's more about letting go. It's more about understanding what you truly want to do and really giving that, honing the focus towards those things. And what needs to be released. Also, I could see you starting a practice perhaps in a spiritual profession, or doing card readings or reading somebody's astrology, or maybe you are a Reiki healer, you're taking the course. You're into tea leaves or runes or whatever it is. Maybe you're just reading somebody's aura. I did a reading the other day for a lady, and it was like when her aura got close enough to somebody else's aura, the aura read, and she just instinctively knew, and that is how she knew. That's why she needed that close connection. Stability and efficiency, taking charge of the situation, ambitious plans. So do not pull back on your plans, your strategy. Do not expect for greatness and abundance and greatness and prosperity. Maybe it's even greatness in your stature. But stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation, ambitious plans. And it's the Emperor. So it's making the plan, it's making the strategy, understanding where the weaknesses lie, and then reinforcing those weaknesses. Maybe you don't know about a subject or how to do something, so you go and find somebody who does. And you either make a partnership with them or you pick their brains for details to get an understanding, and then you apply it. And there is a strong belief here that you're not hoping and you're not wishing, but you expect. You expect what you are seeing in your mind or greater or better than, right? Those are the only choices. We have stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your personal power. So, yeah, it really is. It's understanding where you are right now in work, career, maybe your stature in the community if you do not work, then how you are identified with. And you're looking at what characteristics you want to be in place and what characteristics are really in place, truly in place. And understanding that there needs to be a plan, a strategy to move, to merge almost those two things together. A new emotional situation, messages regarding relationships or social invitations. Great intuitive insight, so follow your gut. If it feels right, chances it is. If it doesn't feel right, chances it's not. So it's about believing in yourself, having that self-confidence that will give you the courage to take a risk on yourself, to move yourself to a bigger arena, an elevated step, thinking more of yourself and your worth and what you truly are worthy and deserving of. I think that's where your energies are going to lie this week when it comes to work and career. And you may be even looking at releasing some things. Maybe you have a lot of things that you have on your plate and it's time to delegate some of those responsibilities away so you can put your focus where it needs to be for yourself going forward. Let's do relationships. We have the Six of Swords going into uncharted territories. Uncharted waters and unmarked, uncharted territories going forward. The unknown. Well, what does that say for our relationships this week? Trying something new, trying something different, trying something that lights you on fire, something that you are gravitated towards, and inviting it into the relationship in some way. New experiences. Maybe you want to travel together. This could be traveling. Absolutely. Even just like an overnight getaway would probably do, and somewhere where neither of you have been before. You don't really know what you're stepping into. Leave a little bit of serendipity to play with, to go with the flow, to allow the experience to happen for you rather than you making the experience happen. Six of Wands, it's a fortitude in the relationship. It's making a stance that you're going to make the relationship stronger. You're going to grow it deeper. It's going to be more beautiful each and every day. You're embracing it, you're inviting in that kind of energy. So giggles and laughter right up to harmony and beauty within the relationship. You want to bring those things in. And one drop at a time, so be it, one drop at a time. But I think that if there's any place where you are just giving it a constant commitment, it would be in your relationships this week, of growing it into all it can be, to deepen the relationship. Now this could be a lover, it could be a best friend, somebody you hold close to your heart. The World card. But for some of you, it could be leaving a relationship. A new relationship lays in the horizon. Or you're finally coming to terms. Maybe you have been collaborating a little bit lately and having a little bit of an honest dialogue. And kind of remarking territories. Building new ground together. Understanding how to bring the true balance into the relationship. So things are changing or things are letting go. It could be that the last child is leaving and you're empty nesters. It could be the first child is coming and you have to make space for them. But there's things that are being of closure within the relationship and new experiences ready to come into relationships for you. We have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So having a positive faith, a belief that what you are doing matters within the relationship will bring the outcome that you want. So stay optimistic. Don't get discouraged when things don't go your way. You just learned a way it's not going to work. So back it up and try again. Okay? This is about allowing the energy in. Okay. We have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is about getting enthusiastic, about trying new experiences, about trying not to stick too much to a strategy as much as it is the overall plan, and trying some things, throwing some stuff against the wall. If it sticks, great. If it doesn't, we're going to sweep it up, throw it into the trash. It's about getting enthusiastic. It's about starting to create some momentum for yourself, starting to build upon that passion, that creativity, that forward movement that you want to have happen. We have the High Priestess. When the High Priestess arrives in anybody's reading, know that the magic is around you, and it absolutely is this week. It allows you to move in the way that you want to move. It brings in questions so that you get the right answer, so that you can make the right decisions going forward in your life, especially when it comes to work and career. But more importantly, it asks you to sit in quiet contemplation to realize the magic that is within you. Your talents, your abilities, the unique self. To understanding that exposing those things to the world only adds to your greatness. You have the Ace of Pentacles. This is a new path towards abundance. Now, I don't think it's this week that this path opens up to you, but it very well could be. I would think the tail end of the week, if something were to open up to you over the beginning of the week. But, magic has a mind of its own. But this is, and I kind of get this aha moment or this epiphany or this eureka moment for yourself where you are going forward. You see something and you just know that this is for you. You know that you can make it work. It's like all that thought that you gave throughout the week on it has brought in the exact experience that you have been hoping for or designing ahead of time. And it starts you on your path going forward. The Lovers, it's about passion, it's about love, it's about growing your relationships deeper, absolutely. But it's also about growing your passions deeper with what you do and who you are, your stature in the world, your prosperity that you bring in, the love that you bring in and give out. Opportunity knocks, go for it. So you may just see the opportunity this week. You may see where you need to push your thoughts in new directions. So don't be too set in your ways to think outside the box a little bit this week, and to doing something different, doing something exciting might just bring in a world of beauty for you. We have new beginnings. Begin your life. Okay, so start planning it because you are walking towards the new beginnings. I think, yes, as we go through this next month, 30 days or so, you're going to be closing more doors than opening doors. But when we close doors, we make space for those new beginnings. So depending on how quickly we move or where we put our attention, those doors could open a lot faster than we expected them to. Go with the flow. Let things happen. I think that's wise advice for you this week. To go with the flow, let things happen, allow serendipity to have the stage in your life. I think you'll be very grateful for that. Celebration, let go and have fun. I'm going to end it there. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.